From Drew. Hey, Andrew, I'm a big fan of the show and all the great entertainment you've created. I've just started another kingdom and absolutely love it so far. I also love knowing that not every piece of media I enjoy is spawned from the Hollywood left. So I've always had this question, but in the last couple of years have found it very hard to ask or talk about since it occurred in my family. From a Christian perspective, what are your views on forgiveness and going to heaven if someone commits suicide? I've heard someone say it's an unforgivable sin, which I find disturbing. I always enjoy hearing your wisdom on personal matters and would love your take on this. Thanks for everything you do. First of all, suicide is a disaster, okay? I've been around it. It's not a good thing. People think it solves their problem, and it is a permanent solution to what usually is a temporary problem. I mean, the closest I ever came to suicide in my youth, I was weeks away from breaking through and solving so many of my problems. I thought I was in hell. I was really just in a small tunnel, and the light was very close. So suicide is a problem. It leaves behind utter wreckage, utter devastation. It destroys the lives of the people who love you. It leaves them angry and guilty and feeling just awful. It is a disaster. The question you asked about whether there's forgiveness for suicide is a question that you don't have to answer, okay? I don't have to answer because we don't get a vote. We do not get a vote on who gets into heaven. This is one of the misuses of religion as far as I'm concerned. It is not one of the uses of religion to determine who gets into heaven because guess what? One guy gets the vote. He gets all the votes and he's taking care of it. It's in his hands. You don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is doing the things that show that you believe in that guy. There's things that like treating your neighbor, loving your neighbor like yourself, loving God himself, showing the kind of forgiveness that has been shown to you for who you are. People commit suicide in all kinds of tragic situations, sometimes just because they're depressed, sometimes because they have some kind of personal difficulty that could be cured in time. Some people kill themselves because they have a fatal illness and they don't want their family to have to deal with it. You're reading Another Kingdom. The front piece to Another Kingdom is a quote from C.S. Lewis. Nobody knows any story but their own. No one is told any story but their own. You don't know what another person's relationship with God is. You do not know what another person's relationship with God is. It's not your job to judge. So whether or not people can be forgiven for it is not a question we can answer. But the question we can answer is whether it's a good thing to do. And it's almost always a disaster for the people you love most and the people you leave behind.